Dude, TYT, they got to go. Okay? They got to go. These guys are not left wing anymore. Man, they are straight up. Now we have proof. Before it was just like, okay, maybe they're grifting, maybe they're going out there and you couldn't call them out, but like they are spreading right-wing disinformation here. And we have to call this out because they are definitely now at this point, they are right-wing shills. They are absolutely on a mission here to sabotage left-wing politics and specifically left-wing people in Los Angeles and California, and maybe they're on the dole from Rick Caruso. I don't know. We're going to find out. It's all going to come out.
Gavin is largely incompetent, and I think the mayor is largely incompetent, and probably both of them are just stone cold incompetent. What they've done is terrible.
It is important to understand that California Democrats are absolutely getting blasted for their inept leadership and lack of fire preparedness in the lead up to the devastating fires that have ravaged large parts of Los Angeles County, devastated areas, including the Pacific Palisades, Altadena, California, which is near Pasadena. Now, Donald Trump in particular has been going after the governor of California, Gavin Newsom, who just keeps getting caught in various lies, including the one that you're about to hear.
Watch this.
The reservoirs are completely full, the state reservoirs here.
You see that? What did he say right there? He said the reservoirs are completely full. The state reservoirs here are completely full because that was one of the charges that Trump made, was that Governor Newsom had let all the reservoirs run empty.
The reservoirs are completely full, the state reservoirs here in Southern California. That mis and disinformation, I don't think advantages or aids any of us.
We do know, though, from reporting here locally that one reservoir that serves the Palisades was not full.
Now, yes, there was one reservoir, the Santa Ynez Reservoir, that was down for maintenance. That is a local reservoir, though. That is not under the state's jurisdiction. Now, I can't imagine how many local reservoirs there are in the entire state of California. I imagine there's quite a few. But I also know that when you're the governor of the state, you are not out there managing all the local resources. Now, yes, when a local resource, that reservoir was unfixed and now they find out it was empty, now he's responsible for it. And so now he's going to investigate that local reservoir. But Gavin said the state ones were full. He said, oh, but a local one was offline. And he said, yes, I know the local one was offline. We're going to investigate this because it is his job now to figure out why that local one was offline. But now
including
watch.
the one that you're about to
watch
hear.
Her
the
response.
Reservoirs are completely full, the state reservoirs here in Southern California. That mis and disinformation, I don't think advantages or aids any of us.
We do know, though, from reporting here locally that one reservoir that serves the Palisades was not full.
And that's exactly what triggered my desire to get the investigation to understand what was happening with that local reservoir that was not a state system reservoir, which the president-elect was referring to.
Why did you say all the reservoirs were full? And then when you're hit with the facts of one of the major reservoirs being completely empty, well, that's why I'm calling for investigations. And, that's not a state reservoir. I'm going to pass the buck.
Dude, but no, Anna. He started off with the state reservoirs were full. Trump's lying. All the reservoirs under my charge are full. And we discovered through this that a local reservoir was not full, had been taken offline, and they didn't fix it. So, okay, now it's my job as governor to investigate that. We're going to have an independent investigation. But he was very fucking clear, and she's so disingenuous.
Why did you say all the reservoirs were full? And then when you're hit with the facts of one of the major reservoirs being completely empty.
Oh my God.
Well, that's why I'm calling for investigations. And, that's not a state reservoir. I'm going to pass the buck. I'm going to pass the buck. Please don't blame me. It's not my fault, even though I am the governor of this state. That's who Gavin Newsom is. In every single interview that he has done amid these wildfires.
She is so disingenuous, bro. She is so over the top, even down to her horrible acting. They are the Republicans are terrified of him. They are absolutely terrified of him. But dude, she is
You're
crazy.
the top dog, politically speaking, in the state of California, and he has failed the people of California, not just in regard to the current wildfires, but he has consistently failed the people of California in response to these wildfires, the aftermath of the wildfires. I mean, just take a look at what happened in Paradise, California. Okay, the so-called Camp Fire, which absolutely destroyed that community, robbed people of their homes as a result of PG&E, one of the electrical utilities here in this country, in this state. He bailed them out. He bailed them out. I mean, this is who Gavin Newsom is, and I have a lot more to get to. But Cenk, I want to give you an opportunity to weigh in.
Oh, here comes Cenk.
Yeah, so I'm very much looking forward to finding out what caused these fires. And it might be a couple of different reasons. We don't really know. But if it's PG&E again, then I'm going to be furious because Gavin Newsom took $10 million from them and then has not forced them to bury their wires. And their wires that are hanging up above us all are kind of like a Damocles sword hanging over all of our heads in California, just so that Gavin Newsom can collect more campaign donations from PG&E. It's disgusting. I can't stand it.
I just want to highlight something here, okay? Because obviously the smear of this is back to Cenk's populism, the corporate deceit. But we do have to remind ourselves that Cenk here, who is attacking Governor Newsom, saying essentially that Governor Newsom is allowing PG&E to abuse their power lines in exchange for campaign donations. But this is the same guy here who is a supposed progressive news network that is taking money from a right-wing offshore crypto gambling site called Polymarket. So the guy who is bought off by corporate donors from the opposite political spectrum is saying that he's mad at the California government because he perceives that guy to be bought off by corporate donors. The utility corporations is Southern California Edison. Oh shit, dude, that is crazy. So it's not even PG&E. Oh my God, dude. There is no fire in Southern California that could be caused by PG&E. PG&E does not serve Southern California. It is Southern California Edison that provides electricity. PG&E is only in Northern and Central California. So there's no way PG&E could have anything to do with what's going on down there in LA County. They're not down there. I mean, this is such a right-wing thing here. They're literally just doing what the Republicans do, where they're taking the Northern California Paradise campfire that was connected to PG&E in Northern California, and they're saying, oh, if this fire had to do with PG&E, like, oh shit, it's gonna be more of Gavin Newsom, but like PG&E doesn't even operate down here, right? They're trying to tie together two events that couldn't possibly be related, and they're doing it to try and smear Gavin Newsom. They live in Southern California. They know there's no PG&E down there. So this is just disingenuous from the start. Like, holy fucking shit, bro.
Why hasn't it been repaired? Like, what's going on? Well, the city began emptying the reservoir in February of last year due to this tear in the floating cover. They were worried about debris getting into the water. Totally understand that. The repair would have taken a week, but it didn't take a week. It never got done, because repairing anything in this damn state is impossible. Okay, so then we hear about the upcoming wins. Look, we were not surprised by this. I want people to not make the mistake of drinking the Democratic Party's Kool-Aid on this, because we were getting reports about the intense Santa Ana winds and the upcoming fire weather almost a week in advance.
Oh, Anna, see, now not only is Anna apparently a water engineer who not only does she know exactly how long this repair should have taken, but now Anna is saying that we knew a fire was coming like a week before this thing. Bro,
I knew about the fire winds and all of that the Friday before the fire started on Tuesday.
Oh, she knew. Anna knew about the fire winds 5 days before. But, well, Anna, why didn't you do something? if you had this premonition. You see that shit? Look at that shit, bro.
Fire weather almost a week in advance. I knew about the fire winds and all of that the Friday before the fires started on Tuesday.
Anna knew.
Now I bring that up because there was nothing wrong with the actual structure of that Santa Ynez reservoir. It was just the floating cover that had issues. So knowing that these winds are coming, knowing that those winds could create a terrible, hazardous wildfire situation, I would hurry up and fill that reservoir. Not really concerned about the debris getting into that reservoir because we might need that reservoir specifically to fight fires. She didn't do that though, did she, Cenk? She knew about the winds. She knew they were coming. And what did she do? She went on a taxpayer-funded trip. Us Angelinos paid for her to travel abroad to Ghana, okay? For what? For something important that's going to benefit the people of Los Angeles?
Oh my God, dude, the energy behind this. This is right-wing media. I know they're on TYT. I know they say they're progressives, but their playbook that they're using here is right-wing media, guys. Their playbook. Look at what they did. They took clips of Gavin that we watched and they misrepresented them right after we all watched them together. Then they tied it to an event with a different company. Gavin took money from PG&E. This is Southern California Edison. They couldn't be related, okay? But they're tying two unrelated events together to prove their political point and attack him. Then she's making unfounded claims about the repair work on a reservoir that she doesn't have actual knowledge. Now she's claiming that everybody knew the fires were going to happen a week before them. So now she can attack the black woman who had a pre-scheduled trip as a Biden delegation to go meet with the president of Ghana.
To watch their incoming president get inaugurated.
Yeah.
You are the mayor of a major city. You're not a diplomat. You're not an ambassador. What the F are you doing in Ghana?
Look at her. She's attacking the black woman, but she was chosen by Joe Biden. Joe Biden chose 4 members of the Biden delegation to go to Ghana to support the Ghana president for his inauguration. Federal money paid for that trip, Anna Kasparian, you fucking liar. And she was chosen by Joe Biden, by the president of the United States, to represent his chosen delegation to go to that event, paid for by federal dollars. And here you are, as a supposed progressive journalist here, lying through your fucking teeth, bro, about Karen Bass.
Yeah.
Why were you not here?
The level of disinformation, the level of lying that is going on with Anna and Cenk is insane.
Preparing for a potential disastrous wildfire.
So in Anna's mind, what's supposed to happen is President Joe Biden selects Karen Bass to represent his delegation in Ghana. And Anna says the mayor of LA should say to the president of the United States, I'm sorry, I can't go on your presidential delegation to Ghana. I can't take the trip because there's some winds going to happen. So I have to stay in LA because it's windy, because there might be some type of disaster. So I'm going to stay in LA and I'm going to see if they have an obscure reservoir that might be empty that I don't even know exists. And you, Joe Biden, I'm not going to go on your presidential delegation because there might be a reservoir that I now have to go search out. And so I guess LADWP was required to take the Santa Ynez Reservoir out of service to meet safe drinking water standards. With the broken hole in the thing, LADWP said, hey, you guys got to take it offline. That snafu is what's playing out. The fact, though, that they're lying, like Anna and Cenk are lying about Karen Bass, and they're lying about this presidential delegation.
The fact that she went to Ghana, Cenk, isn't just about the waste in taxpayer money. It isn't just about her absence. It's about the fact that it shows that she underestimated what was about to come. She didn't have the foresight because she doesn't care.
Oh my God, they're saying she didn't predict that there was going to be a ginormous, once in a century fire. Come on, bro. They hate fucking black people, man. And they're lying, bro. They're fucking lying. They are lying. Straight out lying. Dude, I'm fucking pissed, bro. I am pissed because it's bad enough. Like, all right, you want to like hate Gavin Newsom, you want to play a little politics with your reporting, that's one thing. But for you to claim to be a fucking news station and be flat out lying about the fact that LA taxpayer money paid for that, it was not. It was a presidential delegation. She was chosen and paid for to go there by the fucking president. And you're lying about it to suit your bashing of the Democratic governance of LA just because what? Are you being paid by Rick Caruso? You being paid by Trump now? And yes, the mayor doesn't like cancel her calendar when the Santa Ana winds show up. She wouldn't get any goddamn work done. Bro, what do you want? The fucking mayor of LA to sit in a wooden tower out in the woods? And take a wind journal? Oh, shit, we better go to the tower because Anna and Cenk want another poly market check. The fuck is she doing, bro? And yes, it is not fire season. It is January. Nobody was expecting a huge fire to break out in January. I lived in LA for 20 fucking years, bro. You know what I mean? The Santa Ana's come and roll through, but nobody was predicting this fire. But the fact of the matter that Anna and Cenk are on a supposed news program telling actual lies about Karen Bass's trip is unfucking real, bro.
Look, the other thing I'm going to bring up, and I know I'm going to get a lot of heat for this, but it's just the truth. It is the truth. And I am just desperate for something to be done about it. I had to evacuate. So I evacuate to where you think it's going to be safe in the middle of the San Fernando Valley where I grew up, Reseda, California. Okay. But then there was an encampment fire, a giant encampment fire that threatened the neighborhood I was staying in. There are encampment fires daily, dozens of them.
Dude, oh my God, this poor oppressed woman, she evacuated and then there was a homeless fire and now she is like threatened by the homeless people.
Add that to high winds, add that to dry conditions. And I mean, you're just creating the worst possible situation. People are terrified. No one is safe in California or Los Angeles when it comes to this issue.
Dude, I have friends and family in California, in LA. I mean, obviously they're nervous about the Palisades fire, right? But they don't spend their days worrying about like homeless encampments destroying their lives. That's not a realistic worry. The people I know that live in LA that aren't right-wing fucking dickheads are more concerned about wanting to help the homeless people, if anything.
So when it comes to fire prevention, dealing with these encampments appropriately is also part of the equation, but people are afraid to even talk about that. I mean, Jake, am I wrong for bringing this up? The wildlife preserve near me, or reserve, I should say, near me, has been lit on fire dozens of times over the last year alone.
Yeah. So no, that's just, there's nothing wrong with what you're saying. So look, guys, the PG&E has been the cause of most of the most amount of fires. Again,
PG&E does not serve anywhere in Southern California. They are talking about PG&E, which has nothing to do with any of the fires or anything that Anna just talked about. PG&E serves Central and Northern California. And there was the Paradise Fire, that campfire that happened that was super tragic. That was the one where Donald Trump talked about wetting down the forest and shit. Donald Trump, Mr. Brilliant, shine a light in the body. That was like 2018. So that was 6 years ago. And has nothing to do with this.
So look, guys, the PG&E has been the cause of most of the most amount of fires that we have tracked. Okay, that doesn't mean they're the only source of fires. And unfortunately, homeless folks who are almost always the fire started by someone who's hooked on drugs. They're starting it for the drugs.
Oh shit!
Because you cook some of the drugs.
Oh, now it's drugs.
Has that been a major source of fire here in LA over the last half a decade to a decade? Absolutely. Anyone who says that that's not true is just literally indisputably lying to you. And I guess the reason they would lie to you is, oh, we want to protect our unhoused neighbors.
Dude, I can't stop. There's no doubt that those homeless fires are happening more from them trying to cook food or maybe trying to keep warm than cooking fucking drugs, bro. I mean, dude, I've shot up. I've done speedballs, all right? You cook that shit with a lighter and a spoon, you ain't starting a fucking fire, okay? But if you get high and you try to cook some food or you start a fire to keep warm because it's fucking cold, you may start a fire with that. But saying that they're heating with their spoon is starting these fires, like, my God, bro. What the fuck is wrong with these people, dude? Jesus Christ, dude.
So let's cover up the fact that they're starting fires to get high. So, but remember, not all homeless people are the same. That's the minority of homeless people.
Oh my God.
We're not trying to be, say anything disparaging about homeless people. We're just telling you a reality, and you covering it up doesn't help at all. And it's to do something about those fires is not to say that you should.
Dude, I just can't, bro. I just can't, because now they're like, they're not even understanding that, like, dude, homeless people are cold. They're hungry. And I realize that money is being spent and the homeless problem isn't fixed yet. But like, goddamn, bro, what do we have? We have like the three richest guys in America, Elon and Zuck and Bezos, and they're going to be sitting at the inauguration with Trump and they're about to loot our fucking government. But are they going to help with any of their vast resources to help make it so homeless people aren't cold and hungry and don't have to start a little campfire? And I'm sorry that some homeless people are strung out on drugs because, it's hard to be fucking homeless. When you hit that bottom level, like maybe you get drunk or get high because you just can't deal with being homeless. There it is. There they are. Oh, there they are. They're going to be at the inauguration sitting together. The LA Times posted this fucking story here. Big scandal. All right. Now, if you go and look at this article, it says Mayor Karen Bass was at an embassy cocktail party in Ghana as the Palisades fire exploded. And it says on January 7th, she was posing for photos at an embassy cocktail party in Ghana. And then look at what it says here. By the time she departed the gathering for her flight home, massive plumes of smoke were visible over wide swaths of the city. That's making it sound like, oh shit, Karen Bass was there just cocktailing and taking photos instead of going to take care of LA. But here's where it gets crazy, is just before 8 p.m., which means around 11:30 in the morning LA time, because it is, 8 hours ahead. She's at this cocktail reception. So what happens here is when you look at it all the way down, look at how we're all the way down at the end of the article where we finally get into this. And now they add this. All the way at the bottom of the article, they say, the city's emergency management department alerted Angelenos about the fire at 11:22 a.m. on January 7th, which means she got alerted somewhere around, 7:30 p.m. Okay, so 7:30, 8 p.m., she's at this cocktail party in Ghana. She gets the notification that a fire is breaking out in LA. And what happens? She immediately went to the airport. She left the ambassador's house between 8 and 8:30, went to a military base, got on a military plane, and flew back to LA. Which means at 7:30 p.m., she's at this cocktail party. She finds out that, oh shit, there's a fire in LA. And a half an hour later, she's going to the military base to get on a plane, and then she flies back to LA. But they bury this all the way at the end. And then the whole article here is trying to make it look like she's there drinking and taking pictures while the city is burning. Now, this is the woman who beat Rick Caruso, the billionaire developer. There was a billionaire land developer who ran for mayor in LA. And now there's this huge fight over development in LA because they want to remove environmental restrictions. They want to redevelop LA. They want to re-envision it. I don't know exactly what the fight is, but obviously Rick Caruso, the billionaire land developer, he has a lot to gain if he were to get a toehold in politics there. Now they're trying to sabotage Karen Bass's campaign. Okay? Rick Caruso is trying to capitalize on this, and Republicans are trying to capitalize on this. They already started a recall effort, but this is a fucking smear campaign. Dude, they're smearing everything about this woman. Why? Because she's a black woman.